Hi, my name is Fernanda Ferraz Gomez Apendini, and this is my project about graphic trigonometric functions. First of all, we need to know that the general formula for this, in this case for sine, it's y is equal to a sine times bx minus c, we close parentheses, plus d. So this is our equation, and we have that a is equal to 4, b 2, c is minus pi over 6, and d minus 2. Later on, we will see what each value of them means. So we will start looking for the amplitude. What we have to do is give like the whole, we put these lines to give like the whole value of 4, which will be 4. Amplitude is a measure from x-axis to maximum point and x-axis to minimum point. In this case, in the graph. Now we have period. Period is equal to 2 pi over b, which will be 2 pi over 2, which will give pi. Our period is the part you're going to take in account in the graph. Later on, we will do the graph. Now, the quadrant, you must divide period over 4, which will be p quarters. Now, we have the beginning of our graph, which will be bx plus c is equal to 0. In this case, is this part, which will be 2x minus p over 6 is equal to 0. We pass p6 to the other part, which will make it positive, and then we divide px over 2, which will give us p12. What we want in this part is to have like the x alone, so we need to take everything that is on this side to the other side for us to have the x alone. Then we get the ending, which will be bx plus c is equal to 2 pi, which will be 2x minus p over 6 equal to 2 pi. Now we pass the p6 to the other part and we make an addition. So as we have 2 pi plus pi over 6, we transform this 2 pi with in this formula for it to be easier, which will be 13 pi over 6. Now we have to pass this, as it is making a multiplication, we have to pass it dividing, and we will have 13 pi over 6 over 2, which will be 13 pi over 12. Now, we're gonna make the graph. So, we start putting the values, but this is a really important thing. Here is the minus 2. Now, let's see. D is the vertical shift. So, which means from this x-axis, we're going to move it 2 points below because it's minus 2, and this is going to be our virtual x-axis. So, we're gonna put another important thing, because for example, we have the beginning is pi 12, but as we know, we must go pi quarters like each point, because as you know, the quadrant is a measure between points. So what we're going to do is divide 1 quarter over 1/12, and it's going to give 3. So we count. Oh, another important thing. You remember I mentioned about the amplitude? So from this part, which is our virtual x-axis, we're going to count 4, our amplitude here, 4 points from above and below. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's begin. So, it's P12, which is our beginning. Now we're going to count 3 points. 1, 2, 3, like this, because as it is positive, it's going to make like this wave. It's here. Now the next 3 points, 1, 2, 3, here below. Now again, 1, 2, 3, here. And once again, 1, 2, 3. And this is the ending, and this is how we have our period. Now we have this equation. We're gonna get the maximum, minimum, point, domain, and range. The maximum, as you can see, it's 4 pi over 12, but we're going to simplify, and it's going to be pi over 3, 2. Now the minimum point is going to be 5 pi over 6, because we're going to simplify it, minus 6. And finally, the domain is going to be from minus infinite to plus infinite, and we're going to put this mark to represent it. because they're always going to be that way, and from the range is going to be from -6 to +2. Well, thank you for your attention.